pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we have Steve Merkel,
Here.
Samantha Hayes, I'm here, Jim Patello,
Here.
and Mark Clement.
Here.
And not here today, we have Steve Hoyt and
Excuse
Tim
me?
Johnson.
Oh.
All right, we have all business, outside agencies.
Wait a minute, we gotta accept the minutes.
Oh, sorry. Did everyone get to review the minutes?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as printed. Second.
All right, all in favor? All right, it's 4 pass. Now, outside agencies, do we have anyone else that needed to come in, or did you get any information from anyone
Guy said
last
he would,
week?
the RTP was the one.
Right.
And
Yep.
he said he was gonna try to come in, and I don't see him,
Okay, he's not waiting anywhere, right? Like, and trying to get through or anything like that?
not that I see. I asked him to come,
Okay.
have a face-to-face.
Okay. New business? Do you want to tell us about the capital reserves and all that, Randy?
Yep, we can walk through it. I got a slightly different spreadsheet, because I got some notes on it from you, but we should hit all the correct categories. So, on the causeway improvements, Steve, you can add some color here, but there's some work that needs to be done down there, pinning the railings, fixing the sidewalks. They're starting to break up a bit. And so what we did is, there's 93,796 in the reserve, and we were saying, let's allocate $92,000.
Wait a minute, what page are we?
I think we're on number 3, tab 3, capital reserves.
05.
On page 3, you got, account 5, capital reserve.
Okay, gotcha. So,
Yep.
it's none of these pages that you guys left on them?
No, those are some updates, I can go over those in a little bit.
Okay, so we don't need these now. All right, gotcha. All right.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
So anyways, we're saying to take $92,000 out of the $93,000 reserve for those projects. And so that impact on the mill rate is 0. But it does obviously affect the fund balance.
So this is the current balance is 96. Is that wrong?
Correct. Current balance, 96,000.
So let me get this straight, because we're gonna go through this several times. This 96,000 is part of the $2.9 million reserve that we have currently?
2.9 unassigned funds?
Right.
No. 2.9 unassigned funds do not include capital reserves.
Okay, so this is a whole separate account?
Yeah, capital
That,
reserves.
and that number has been proved to be accurate? This reserve account is correct?
The auditors audit that.
These reserve balances listed are as of November 25th.
And they are accurate? Okay.
Yeah, I actually looked at them today, so.
Okay.
I've got even more updated numbers, so. Current balance is 93,796. So there's sufficient amount in there to
So
take
what
that
is the,
to.
what is the balance of the reserve account right now?
Total balance?
Total balance.
Of all the reserves?
Of all the reserves?
I'm not prepared for
Okay.
that question.
Okay. Yep.
But we can take a note on that and
Yeah.
get back to you.
Okay.
So then what's the actual
Million,
balance that's
half
sitting
a
at the
million,
causeway?
3 million?
No, like 1 point something million.
Okay, okay, yep,
And what's the balance that's actually sitting right now in that causeway improvement?
96.
93,796 as of today.
93.
796.
Okay, because this says 96,796.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looked at it,
I looked at it
when I
today.
did
Okay.
these and printed these, it was November.
No, that's fine,
That's fine.
93,796.
Yeah.
And obviously, this would go out to bid, Steve,
What now?
the painting.
Yeah, I mean,
Because last time, if you remember, we had a big issue.
yeah, I don't wanna even relive that.
Okay, okay.
But listen, I mean, the scope of the work down there right now is not just the boardwalk. Like, I mean, we gotta repaint light poles. You look at the light poles by the crosswalk at Rick's. I have absolutely no idea how an aluminum rusts. but it's rusted
Okay,
feet in
yep.
the air.
All right.
That is a conundrum.
Yeah. it is.
Okay, so fire and EMS reserve, we're, Justin would like to replace the ambulance at one of them. It's 10 years old, so that's generally what they do. Every 10 years, they cycle out the ambulance. Casco just bought one, so we think it's around $380,000. And what we're proposing to do is to take $200,000 out of the reserve. The reserve has $249,961 in it, so it will not completely deplete the reserve. It'll leave about $50,000. And then I've got a couple of options here. We can take a $180,000 loan from someone like Androscoggin Bank. Right now, they're offering 5.4. We can probably do a little better than that for 5 years. So the interest payment over the 5 years would be $25,794. Or option two is we take a $200,000 loan with the Maine Bond Bank. Their interest is 2.97, so the total interest charge would be $15,464. So this, and the reason I've got them both in here is that it's sort of like when you go to buy a car. Do you want the lowest car payment you can get, or do you want to walk out the door paying the least amount of money over the life of the loan? So that's what those two options are. The difference in the mill rate is about a penny. So, my recommendation would be option two. Let's go to the Maine Bond Bank because we're going to save about $10,000 in interest.
A new ambulance is $380,000?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cost of all this stuff has gone through.
And Mark, that's the low end.
Wow.
You're right now, you go with a Braun or, there's another brand out there, but you're looking at almost 500.
What are we proposing we're gonna get for the old ambulance, or are we trading it in, or what?
We haven't even talked about that. Like, you probably remember, we thought we were gonna get rid of the two trucks that we had.
Yeah.
And we never were able to get that kind of money out of them, so. At 10 years, my guess is it's gonna have some residual value, but I don't know what that number is.
The current ambulance is fine right now,
Yep,
right?
it's
There's
just 10
nothing
years
wrong
old.
with it. Right.
Yep, yep. The concern there is if we push it, at some point if it breaks down when it's hauling somebody. So in engineering, we talk about this thing called the bathtub curve. Anything that's brand new will have a higher failure rate than once they're broken in a little bit and you get past, let's say that you make 1 million vehicles, there's a percentage of them that are gonna have short-term problems, right? Then you get into the sweet spot where, there's very few problems, and then when you get to the end of the curve, it spikes back up. And at some point, you would expect everything to fail, right? When they have enough mileage and enough time on them. So that's the concern on the ambulance, is just not waiting so long that we end up.
How old's the other ambulance?
The other one comes up, I think, in 2 or 3 more years. So let's say 7 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Okay. Paving on the road reserve. So the reserve in it as of today had $743,939. And when we looked at that, we said, let's split that up over 2 years. And so that's where we came up with the $372,000. And, but 2 years from now, the reserve will be completely depleted. So, a lot of what we've done is to try to keep the mill rate as low as possible. So far, everything we've talked about, nothing's being raised from taxes, okay? The ambulance as well. And when we get into general debt, you'll see the impact of the loan. But up here, where we're just talking about the reserve funds, we're not raising money, we're taking money. It's the same thing here on paving. And then I have a note here that this is an important discussion. We need to talk about how we want to fund the roads going forward. Are we going to, go after bonds, or are we going to raise the amount every year that we need to put into the roads? And I think Steve and I just talking, just a rule of thumb would be roughly $400,000 a year is probably where we should be, which makes sense. compared to what some other towns are doing, what they're spending a year. So,
But isn't this gonna put us right back in the situation we were in before, where we didn't have enough money for paving and our roads all went to crap?
Absolutely.
yep,
Oh, absolutely do that, yes.
yep. It's about buying time.
I mean,
That's all this town does, is buy time, and then it gets us into these situations where we can't do anything.
Yeah. Problem is, all the fund balances are well, I don't want to say all of them, but some of them are so low. We should have been raising more money before this year. So we're behind the 8 ball.
Can we flag that one as something we need to discuss? 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah, I have it.
I don't-
which one is that, Sam?
The paving a road, not putting anything in, the paving a road.
Well, I'm just gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna speak as a department head. I didn't wanna be the guy going and asking for another $1 million bond that I just got 2 years ago. We have roads that we can work on in a timely fashion. No. That $1 million paving bond was awesome. We were able to catch a lot of bad things,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of bad things that have happened in 2 years.
Right, well, I just think not putting anything in and then having it depleted in 2 years isn't gonna be smart.
I like it.
That's why we have it flagged.
But, I mean, that's
Yeah.
not just in this one. I think all of them are that way.
Yeah.
Is any of this money, any of these reserves gaining any interest?
They all are.
They all are.
Yeah.
They're in like some sort of bond or?
Yeah, we get 2.5% roughly.
Yeah, I think so. Well, most of the reserves or all the reserves are sitting in
Checking.
the checking account where we get a good chunk of interest.
Okay.
Okay, next one is, we have $5,000 for rescue equipment, so that's just, I want to say miscellaneous equipment for the fire department. So we're not talking about vehicles in that account, we're talking about other types of equipment that they would need, like stretchers or things of that nature. So the account doesn't have a whole lot of money in it, it's got $2285 in it, and we're saying basically budgeted at the same amount as last year, and $5,000. Compensated absences, so Pat, you need to talk about this one.
That's just a reserve account that, I think it used to be a different reserve account called personnel expenses maybe, I'm not sure. But it's just for when people leave, when they resign and they quit and they cash out their leave, their sick leave and those types of things. We just have a reserve account to pay out of that so it doesn't come out of the regular personnel budget.
Did we do this last year? Was it 10,000 last year?
Yep,
Yeah.
same as this year.
And
But
we-
yet the balance is zero.
We've already paid it out?
We,
Oh, yeah, and we went over, I think it's negative, or we ended up using personnel money. We used every last penny of it.
yeah, the account's owed $2,268.
Negative 2,200.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Any more questions on that one? Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm still a little, fund vacation sick PTO. I mean, isn't that all built into their salaries?
No, this is when people leave, so if someone leaves and they
You
have
didn't use your
a
vacation
leave
time.
balance,
It's still built, should still be built in. I mean, if
Once
you
you
build
stop-
in for an individual for the year,
once,
it should be in the personnel number that we're getting.
For that year, but
For
if
that
they're here
year.
5 years,
So if you want us to budget, if everybody resigns, whatever their leave balances are, to pay that out of, like, I don't understand what you mean.
No, usually it's built in. So like, are you saying like vacation time that they didn't take over a stretch of time?
Correct, whatever their balance is.
Well, what are the rules? Like, is there a cap? Like, you can only
There
carry
is.
over so many?
Yep,
On vacation time, sick time.
Right.
there's a cap on both.
Why are we over?
Huh?
So then why are we over? If there's a cap,
yeah,
then
but the
everyone
cap's
should
not
be at the
just
same
1 year.
amount.
No, the cap's not just 1 year.
No,
there's a-
it
They accrue it over a period of time till they finally hit the cap. So if they're here 10 years, the answer to your question is yes, every year
they budget for benefits, salary, what have you. At the end of the year, that line, whatever is over, gets dumped back into the general fund.
Yeah, but
It doesn't get jumped.
most places
Done.
you can only carry so many hours per year.
Correct.
If you don't
Right.
use them, then
Correct.
they're gone.
Yeah, but then you do
And then
that
you
every
start
year.
again.
Yeah, but if you carry so many each
You're allowed
year,
to carry,
You're not
You
supposed
build
to
it
each
up.
year, that's the whole point.
you're
no,
allowed
you're
to
allowed.
carry, I mean, I can go over the personnel policy with if you want, but you're allowed to carry 1.5 times what you can accrue in a year.
Right.
Everybody has different accrual rates based on the time and service in the town, and we did not, is my understanding, that we did not save for this type of scenario in years prior, and we had people retire or resign and had to pay thousands of dollars. And so they implemented this reserve account to try to prevent that from happening, and that's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, like in 24-25, we spent 29,500 on that.
Okay.
It's kind of a standard practice for all businesses, so. Okay, $5,000. So basically, the SCBA bottle, Justin's has been spending some money trying to make sure he keeps his bottles dated properly, meaning they're not getting so old that they can't use them anymore.
well, we skipped over legally.
Yeah, can we go back to
Oh, we
legal?
did?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
We-
Legal.
We
So
spent
what-
30,000 last year?
Yeah, what we want to do is instead of, legal is hard to track because there's a lot of people reaching out and talking to lawyers for a lot of different reasons. What we want to do is instead of spreading it out in the different departments is put it in one bucket. And we want to put it in a reserve account because that way every year instead of raising 30 grand, if we only spent 10, we'd only raise 10. All we're going to do is keep replenishing the reserve account.
I
So-
thought we had a legal reserve.
We did, it was $30,000 last year.
Years ago, we had a legal reserve.
Years ago, maybe.
I think,
So that got wiped out?
I think Jason wiped that out,
He did?
his first year.
He wiped out the legal reserve?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, because we had a legal reserve. We used to do
We
that.
should have that.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, last year we raised 30 grand. We had 30 grand in here for legal. We used all of that?
Well, that was underneath individual budgets last year.
Yeah, it's all spread around.
Right.
What we're saying is take
This
it
is
out of
28
there.
on top of every,
No.
do we have it everywhere
No,
else?
they're taking it out of everywhere and putting it in
All
this
the
one.
individual departments, and we were putting it here.
Okay.
So we would normally, I think we had, I put it down here, we had 13 for admin, 10 for clerks, 5,000 for code, and I basically just combined those three budget numbers and transferred it to a reserve account, but I removed that amount from those departments.
But we used all of the 30 we had last year.
Just a big chunk.
Oh, yeah, we were in the red for legal, I think the last 2 years, maybe.
Do you have a policy where they can't call the town attorney without checking with you first?
No, we don't.
You probably should, so.
Yeah.
That's a lot
At
of money.
$400 an hour,
Disagree. Yeah.
some of, you may be able to say, hey, let me call MMA, or I'm gonna have you call MMA first before you call our attorney, because
Yeah.
So that's
MMA is no charge.
standard practice, we all know we gotta call MMA first. I mean, I've never called legal without
Right,
conferring with them.
right.
I don't think that's happening.
But we're blowing through
I don't know,
$30,000.
I'm just asking, I don't know what it is or it
No, I
isn't.
don't think that's happening, and, I mean, a lot of those legal expenses were, I think, from one or two
Yeah, we've had some big issues.
easy issues.
Yeah.
Code
All these
enforcement
liens
stuff.
that we do,
It's only
those are all
75
going to the town lawyer, not
75 hours worth of
MMA, right? So anytime somebody pays their taxes late and we put a lien out, and then they come in and pay, we have to release the liens, all of that's custom, and sometimes you find problems when you're trying to release the liens, so. There's quite a bit coming out of town clerk's office, and then I'd say the next two big buckets are probably code enforcement and town manager, right? Things get to my desk, it's because they're messed up, and then we're calling around trying to get good answers. And code enforcement, just the C and Brown thing, that costs money too. So, but long-term though, this would be a good thing,
Yeah.
Samantha.
Yeah.
Because if there is a residual, it won't wash into the undesignated funds and then get all re-raised. The idea here is to only raise what we spend every year.
Yeah.
Any more questions on that, Sam?
Are we putting a retainer down for them? So that they have to ask us for each monthly to
We get
replenish the
invoiced.
retainer?
We get invoiced.
So maybe we need to talk to them about that, so that they can't just do the work and invoice us out and have it be a big amount. If we do it by retainer, tell them, we're gonna put 10,000 in the bucket. Once you get close to that 10,000, you need to tell us so we can replenish it if we need to. And you can actually look at the invoices, billing, and see what they're billing the time on. or
Well,
what's
that's what
happening.
they're doing
You
now.
should be
They send
getting
an
detailed,
invoice. They send a detailed invoice.
But they're just sending an invoice, right? And we're just paying it,
Yeah, what Sam is saying is give them an open purchase order, but with a limit.
right? So they have to replenish the retainer.
Yep, yep.
They can't go over the retainer without calling us and saying, hey, you're down to
Or raise
5,000
awareness.
or, right,
It's good. Especially if we, instead of reissuing it, if, let's say we start at 10, and then we move it to 20, every time you get to the edge, somebody is raising the flag and letting you know you're at the edge.
right. And if they're watching it deplete, then they might slow down on spending all the hours on it,
It's a good idea.
because I know those firms.
Okay,
All right.
you all set on that?
Yep, thank you.
Okay, on the CBA bottles, that's just basically starting to put money away for when they have to replace those again.
They've got 48,000 in there.
Yeah, that actually, I don't believe that's sitting there. We haven't done all the transfers yet.
So-
They've spent some money.
They spent it. They
Yeah.
just spent a bunch of it like this year, so that's not an accurate balance.
So we need to get an accurate number there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, we haven't done the transfer. That's what's in Trio. We just haven't done the we've spent it out of checking, but we haven't pulled it out of the account yet. That's
When do
what I
you
mean.
do that?
Usually quarterly.
yeah, it depends on the type of transaction, but I'll update these
Yep.
balances.
Yep.
All right. 10,000, what's up? Town building repairs. So there's 8268 in the account. And I'm saying on this one, we would raise $10,000 from taxes for that one.
Yep.
Cascade system, it says there's 60, that's been wiped out. They have a brand new Cascade system. So we talked about, based on the life of it and stuff, raising $2,500 a year on that so that there's a balance sitting there when the next one's due. But we do have a brand new one, just went in this year, or last calendar year. And then the ballot system for the elections, same as last year, $3,000.
The ones we have now are outdated.
I honestly don't have the story on that, do you?
I don't have the story. I think it's some requirement though for the next election.
Yeah.
They're estimated to be $6,000 per machine and we need 2 machines, so we've been raising.
Yep.
I know those machines have been here as long as I have, because they're the same ones I send out every year.
So wait a minute, I'm confused. If we need to spend 12,000, we only have 3,000 in the,
No, but it's for the 28 election, so we still have 2 more years.
oh, gotcha, okay.
So that's it on capital. So just to clarify, there's $64,315 that would be raised from taxes, and $664,000 that would be taken out of reserves, with the big numbers on that being the $92,000 for the causeway, the $200,000 for the EMS vehicle, and the $372 for roads.
Now, the EMS vehicle reserve, is that all fire trucks and everything? You're wiping out the entire,
No, that,
no, don't we have a reserve for like the ladder truck and this truck and that truck?
no, that's the total reserve right there.
That's the total reserve.
Yep, yep. That's all we have.
I believe that got consolidated.
Yeah, we had so many reserve accounts for fire department. I mean,
So you poured it all into one account?
yeah, they put it all in the vehicle, well, we have the fire EMS vehicle reserve and then we have the rescue equipment reserve. So we have 2.
So this begs the next question that you're gonna have to get us an answer to.
Okay.
What other fire equipment is coming up for replacement? And
Yeah.
how many years are left? Because we need to know that.
Yeah, I worked on that, and at some point, we gotta have a discussion about how we wanna fund that stuff.
Right.
Because I think I looked out 15 or 20 years on that. I think we have a pumper truck is the next one coming up.
They
And then,
just got one,
okay,
unless they're replacing engine three.
is that what it is?
Engine three is a
Okay.
fire pumper, so.
And then the ladder truck is gonna need a rebuild here, that's coming up too, so there's some really big money.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I'm not quite sure. All right, anyway, we need that list.
I can look it up, I have it with me, I just not in paper, I have it
Yeah.
on my files.
Now, what about the rest of these current balances? Are they all
She's
pretty much
gonna
accurate?
she's gonna update us on all the balances.
Okay.
and
So
give us a grand total.
Are any of these somewhat accurate? Like, do we still have 66,000 sitting in the boat?
Yeah.
As of today,
Yeah.
that's the number.
Yep.
And is there still 95,000 sitting for the comprehensive plan?
Yeah, except they have
No.
been paying bills, so we haven't transferred on that yet.
Okay. And is there really 6,000 sitting in the ACO vehicle?
So.
Or was that used towards the new ACO?
As
vehicle?
of today, there's 4,500 in that account.
So that wasn't used for the new ACO vehicle? That was just
We haven't
purchased brand new?
we haven't transferred.
Some of it was,
Yeah, there was yes, there was a little bit, but not, because we also got insurance.
But isn't there still a bunch of money left on that vehicle
What
to
do you
pay,
mean?
or no?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
When we get to general debt, we'll talk about
yeah,
it.
we're gonna talk about all those leases in a minute. Or, not, I guess not today, but eventually.
Okay.
Okay, capital improvements, you ready?
No.
All right, so we have $5,000 for cemetery improvements. They have 8265 in the account. This is another area where I tried to go conservative. So that would be 5,000 from taxes. And then Singer Center repairs, there's 27,000 in the fund. And I was, the proposal here is to take 15,000 of that out of the undesignated fund balance. So basically, we'll burn that reserve or that amount down, but we're not gonna raise any from taxes. And then, let me see.
Wait, I'm confused. There's there's a Singer fund, there's no Singer fund.
It's not a fund, we've done a carryover from what we've raised, and it's sitting there as a balance, and I'm saying carry it over again.
Okay.
And we'll spend out of that, and we won't hit the mill rate. Do you disagree with that?
So,
Why is it written as a proposed amount, though, 15,000?
so I highlighted those areas in yellow, to demonstrate that those four amounts in yellow are not gonna go against
I see.
the budget. And in the summary, you will see, it's part of, I basically did an offset, so I don't even know how much that is, what is it, 552,000 total. We put that as an offset, like basically listed in the revenue so that it's not showing that it's
I
gonna be
see.
charged against
Okay.
taxes. But what he's talking about, I'm confused, because you said that there's a balance.
Yes, the carry forward balance for the Singer Center repairs right now is 27 grand.
But isn't that 27 grand just in your general fund when you?
It is undesignated funds.
Yeah, it's undesignated, so it's already in her numbers.
Yep,
Yeah.
and
So-
then that's
so you
what I'm
can't-
saying.
So
That's
if you
where-
take it out of there, it's gonna reduce her number by 27,000.
Correct, but it
Okay.
won't hit the mill rate.
Well, yeah, indirectly it will hit the mill rate.
Well,
Not this
No.
year, he just wants to spend,
not unless it hurts our ability to take money to offset taxes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So you wanna spend a total of 42,000 for the Singer Center? 27 plus 15? You wanna spend 42,000?
The Singer Center is specific to the Singer Center, the other one is all town buildings.
Right, so I'm saying the Singer Center, you're proposing to spend $42,000 this year, 27 plus 15. Is that correct?
No,
No,
No.
He just wants to spend 50.
Just the 15.
You just want to spend the 15?
Yeah,
And he
Okay.
wants to spend it out of unassigned.
Got it,
funds.
got it.
yep.
So really, we're not, when you do the warrants for capital projects, we're not asking for $15,000.
We're not, we're gonna be asking to appropriate 15,000 out of the unassigned fund
Okay,
balance.
fine.
But we're not asking to raise through taxation.
Right, okay.
The only one on this page that we're asking to raise through taxation is at $5,000.
For the cemetery
For the
committee.
cemetery committee.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because their carryover is not very big.
Yep, no, I got it. Yep.
Open space parks, same thing, their balance is 26,576. So, what we could do is we could say the whole 26,576 is available, right? As a carry forward.
But you're only using 12,000 of it.
Well, I'm saying, that's what we'll try to keep it to.
Yep,
Yep. But we'll have the carry forward there
Yeah,
in case
yeah.
we need
Yep.
to. And then, town office upkeep, we have 47,350 in there, and I'm thinking we're gonna probably end up spending another 25,000, again this year. So we've been, well, I don't know what we spent last year, but we got work to do. And then finally, the recreation center project, there's the 500,000 that was voted on. So we have it sitting there, and that's why we're showing it coming out of the undesignated fund balance.
so let me ask a question. Town offices,
Yep.
that 47,350, why wouldn't you dump that into the town building repair reserve under capital reserves? Where it really belongs.
Yep, I
Why
would agree.
wouldn't you dump that 47 in there, then go ahead and appropriate the 15,000 that you want to spend?
So I asked the same
25.
question, and I think originally when these reserve accounts, when the capital reserve account and the capital improvement projects accounts were originally built, and you can probably attest to this
Yeah.
as you were here.
Yeah,
These improvement projects were designed or written to utilize capital improvement or capital reserve funds. These were the projects you were gonna use those for.
correct.
At some point, this just became a regular expense account, like as part of the municipal budget, no different than the admin account or the clerk's account.
But what we did in August of every year, when we had the carryovers, we would put them in the appropriate account. We didn't dump everything in the general reserve.
Correct, and we did that last year.
Okay,
We carried
okay.
over several
Right.
$100,000, I think, into different accounts.
Right. So like that 47,350 should go
Up top.
into the town office building repairs capital reserve account, because that's for all buildings.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about the others, but certainly that one.
Yeah. And that's something, the select board approves all the carryovers.
Right, right.
And we can present that and ask to move it, rather than having to move it from this account to this account to this account every year, we can just put it in the reserve account.
You could argue to do the same thing with the Singer Center too.
Correct. Yep.
Very much.
Yeah, it's a government building.
So our proposed budget summary page has the full 557,000 in here. Do we have that being offset for what we're actually, for the actual 5,000 that we're,
Yes.
Wanna raise?
Hold on a second, just looking at here. So if you look at, the proposed summary budget, the very first page, there's a bottom square that talks about where it says the estimated mill rate.
yep,
That section up there where it says minus other and offsetting revenue, that $4,191,623,000, that number includes the 500,000 out of undesignated funds, TIF expenses, everything. It includes all the offsetting revenue, so that's why it's not. Is that what you were asking?
yeah, I'm just making sure this 1.8 is not recapturing the 557 that we don't need.
Correct.
That's
It
right.
is. Yep, and we're gonna go over revenues, I think, tonight too. Are we, or no?
No.
Okay,
Could
well, when
if
we
we
go
have
over
time.
revenues, and you'll see it, I'll show it to you later if you want me to in the revenues tab. It's outlined.
If we have
here.
time, we could.
So, just so I'm clear, this 500,000 has already been subtracted from the 2.9 that we think we have in undesignated fund?
Well,
We're not gonna take it out and now it's gonna become 2.4 million undesignated fund,
No, this is
taken out already.
future. This
Okay.
is future. This is not, this is a proposed, this is what
Right.
we are proposing to you that we take out of undesignated funds. So that 2.9 million, that fairly accurate guesstimate that we think we have in there does not include the removal of the 500,000. So if we do take out this 500,000, that number is gonna go down.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay,
I didn't think we were on the same page.
okay, so,
So it does go down,
okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, any more questions on that section? So just to summarize, that section is 5,000 out of taxes and 552,000 out of the undesignated fund. Most of that just being carried forward. Well, 52,000 of that being carried forward, 500,000 is undesignated. Okay, so TIF-funded projects and services, I'm just gonna hit the big ones. So $25,000 for the 4th of July parade. What I would say on that is we're being told the cost of fireworks is going up because of the tariffs and a whole bunch of other things. And what we did last year, what did we pay, Steve, like 19,000, something like that?
Correct, and I will tell you that this year, you're gonna have to spend it if you want a show.
Yeah,
They are giving a limit. I mean, I'm just using numbers, so please don't hold the number, but I'm just saying, if you're spending under $20,000, this company is not doing your show. Because of the 250th anniversary. They're getting inundated, and, so, I'm just,
Have
like
you
I
ever
said,
lit off fireworks before?
listen, I thought you liked me.
I do.
Okay.
I don't like this budget.
Thanks.
okay. Causeway maintenance improvements, we've got, okay, so the 25,000, we're showing it coming, everything in here should come out of the TIF taxes. So the causeway maintenance improvements, we got 38,000 in there, same as last year. The info center attendant, we have in there at 79.94. Causeway cleaning and mowing contract is 29,450. I'm still trying to get, we think we have a good number on that, but I'm trying to get an updated
The
contract.
causeway maintenance and improvements, you've got 10,000 for banners and decorations. I thought the decorations alone was 14,000 this year,
Well,
right?
What are the
What
decorations?
decorations are you talking about?
The lights on the,
No, that's incorrect.
The snow
wait a
globes?
minute, I heard a number, it cost $14,000 to decorate the town this year for Christmas. So that's incorrect?
That is incorrect.
What did it cost?
$6,000 to the guy that strung all the lights and put up the snowflakes. And I've got probably another $1,000, I don't have the exact number, I can get it to you. $1,000 in uplighting
So that's all it costs?
for that.
Okay, well, okay.
But now, I'm not nitpicking, but we're also talking about, I believe we have, how many snowflakes are we missing, Arlene?
Why are we-
6?
Yeah, it's 3 to 6.
Yeah.
Why are we
so
missing
6
snowflakes?
Huh?
Why
Wait,
are we
wait,
missing
wait a minute.
snowflakes?
Because we
Can we
didn't buy
get-
enough to begin with.
Let's get to the number first.
You don't have enough money in this budget for what we need to do.
That's my
We have-
question.
We have
That's my
6
question.
poles that do not have, so missing is nothing, they haven't been stolen.
No, they haven't been stolen, I wasn't meaning it that way, sorry. So when we bought
It's like,
snowflakes,
did we put them
we didn't
somewhere and
buy,
lost them? Like-
we didn't buy enough for all the poles.
Where'd the $14,000 number come from?
That was if they were gonna.
Oh, yeah.
If they were gonna do a different job than Mr.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
if they were, overall, if they
Okay,
were gonna
all right,
show every tree.
all right.
But no, as far as just, we always undercut ourselves, and this is what bothers me, because at the end, I have $1,000 in flags alone without poles to go on the causeway every year. That's just one thing. Christmas lighting, banners, there's not enough in there.
So what should this number be instead of 38,000?
10, like, you don't,
Well, no, I'm not, what should the number be to begin with, and then we can go cut it later? I just want to know
So
what.
correct me if I'm wrong, Randy, the 17,000 under contracted services, that does include caretakes contract, correct? For the mowing? Yes, it does.
They have their own line.
What does?
They have their own line further down, Steve. Causeway
lines
mowing
down.
and cleaning.
Okay, all right, so it does.
so what's the 17?
So let's back up. Last year, we spent 31,408. The year before, we spent 31,485. So we're talking about a two-year average of 31,400.
Well,
And we're asking for 38,000 this year.
Apologize my wording, if we're adding more to decorations and things like that, we're nowhere near. I mean, I think those snowflakes were shy of 600 apiece. We had 6 of them, there's 3,600.
100.
But then I got 3,600, or right around 3,600 in electrical work to be done in
Yeah.
order to get those to light. So
I
there's-
mean, I'm not suggesting this in any way, shape, or
No, I
form.
know you're not.
No, hold on, I didn't finish. I'm not suggesting this, but the reason we put those nice street lamps all the way up to Gary's was it was supposed to have flagpoles on there and Christmas decorations as well.
I agree.
We're not doing that
No,
to begin
we're not.
with.
And I
Right.
will tell you, as far as, from my standpoint with the flags, they get taken out by the 18-wheelers that pull over there. I'd be replacing them 2, 3.
No, I'm
times.
just saying, that was the intent from the
And
beginning.
none of those poles are set up for electric, to plug anything in,
Right.
so,
Oh, they're not?
negative.
How did that happen?
Oh, it's probably
I don't
cut
know.
for maybe later use. So what's the 17,000 going towards if the mowing and cleaning is down below for 30?
We're probably in the vicinity of $4,500 in irrigation services down there. I know that.
But we're pretty sure the 17,000 is not being budgeted in any way, shape, or form for
Well,
the mowing and
it's not
cleaning
going
at
to
30?
No, it's down below.
If we add
Yeah,
to doing things.
yeah,
And we have not had a chance to sit down and talk about that.
Right.
Because we're wanting to keep the budget down.
right, okay.
But what I don't want is next August, hey, we want to do all this stuff, but we haven't actually budgeted for it.
No, I get that, but but you're confident that the 17,000 isn't including any of caretaker stuff?
No, it's further down.
Okay.
It's down here.
Two
on
lines
line,
down.
Doesn't mean we're not double dipping by accident. Seen
No.
that quite a few times. Okay.
Okay. So I'm down at summer law enforcement now. Is everybody with me?
Yep.
Okay, that one, we have 49,254 on it. Last year, we spent 41,337. We just got, just today, we got a quote from Cumberland County Sheriff's Office for $46,853.77, which is up 7% from last year, which was $43,765. So there's a 7% increase there. We, and Pat, part of what we were budgeting was also to have somebody from the warden service on the lake. That hasn't happened. And so I think we were talking about dropping that so that we could keep the budget the same.
I did, I already dropped it,
Okay.
so yeah.
Well, the only reason we didn't have the game warden service last year is because they couldn't hire somebody.
Correct.
They were short.
Yeah.
That $10,000 is the best deal in the world
If you
If
can
they
get
can
some.
provide
If we can get some money.
Yeah.
I would definitely leave it in the budget, and if we don't get it, then it's a windfall, but.
Well, the number has to go up then, is what
Right,
I'm saying.
we talked about trying to get two, and then eliminating Marine Patrol for Naples because it was such a good deal.
Right.
Remember, when we had that discussion? So,
Which, I mean-
I would never want to not be on the list. I want the game warden to know we still want that person. If you can't get it to us, fine, but once we get off that list, we'll never get back on.
Be a good idea to reach out to Jason.
Yeah.
So, all right, I took a note, to add that 10 grand back in. So we're gonna be looking at, that number's gonna go to 56 to 60, somewhere in there.
Well, I'm sure 7%, they're covering their insurance increases for that guy, just like we're covering in the town.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Band concerts and the events committee, so 9,000 for band concerts and 8,000 for the events committee.
It's the same amount as last year. I just recommended splitting it. Last year they had the events, the $8,000 was included in the band concerts, but I requested just for selfish purposes to separate it because it's two different organizations that are spending that money and it's just easier to
Yep.
track.
So, Pat, are you saying that it's only 6,000 to the events committee?
No, it's 6,000 to,
No,
Just the concerts.
I don't know, the events committees now.
it's 9,000.
it's,
All right,
6,000
sorry.
for concerts, another 3,000 for the extra services, and that's what was on the budget last year.
That was good, I forgot my glasses.
Oh, you're fine. So 9,000 overall for band concerts and some of the cleaning services and those types of things. And then the same amount that they proposed last year for the events committee.
Have we spent more than the 8 grand on events?
Oh,
This year.
yeah. We spent every last penny out of the TIF portion of it.
So it was more than the 8 grand.
Well, so last year, the way it was worded in the budget, in my opinion, because I tried to apply the budget the way it's presented to the town, and it was put in there to support band concerts. So I basically only allowed Chelsea to spend it on music and not necessarily everything else. And she did, she spent every last bit of it on music for all the different events that we did over the summer. Rocktoberfest was huge, and so some of that stuff was very expensive. But I wanted it in a separate account, so bands, entertainment, other expenses in support of events committee is kind of what I put in there.
Okay. Just
So-
curious.
Yeah, so it's not so specific, but either way, I mean, even if it was just music, she'll spend it.
Okay. Boat launch dredging, so I think this is, the water was low this year, so it really came to head, but, Steve, you're of the opinion it's time to dredge again, right?
Short answer, yes.
Didn't do any good last time.
No.
Well, here's the problem is you can't do a 45 by 55 area at a boat launch when 200 feet out to the water is deep, or is saturated in sand. I think that.
Isn't the answer to that extending the cement
No,
ramp?
no, because, okay, so currently, we're just gonna say August. You went to launch a boat. Doesn't matter how that concrete was. At the end of the boat launch dock, it was only 35 inches deep.
It's really
And it went uphill until you get to the channel marker.
it's really the wrong location. I mean,
Well, yeah.
it's-
Yeah, because right now, all the
Great
sand.
for a swimming area, great for,
Well,
Right.
Mark, it's even getting a little poor for a swimming area.
yeah.
But that sand comes down through and filters right into our cove. only proper way to do that is to dredge a much larger area, budget for it. This $100,000 isn't gonna touch it. It's more of a budget. It's probably gonna be a 2-year project.
I think it's a waste of money.
I do too.
I mean, the last time was $68,000 for a 45 by 55 area.
What's the
And they
alternative?
didn't do a damn thing.
It didn't, but here's the other problem, we have to meet with DEP and try to negotiate, because under their rules, everything I dredge out of there has to stay on that property. I can't haul it off. You dredge that much larger of an area, we have no place to put the sand.
Well, that goes back to what Mark said. We're just pissing away money into a project that's never gonna get fixed because it's in the wrong spot to
No,
begin
because
with.
every year. So there's a big power hole where they power loaded their boats. I can take you down there when the ice is out,
Yeah.
and that's filled back in.
We messed up when I was on the planning board 20 years ago, and Marina came to us to improve their boat launch. We granted them permission to do so as long as the town of Naples residents could put their boats in there as a public launch. And it was supposed to be, I was under the impression it was for perpetuity or whatever, but somehow, somewhere
didn't
along
work out.
the way, where it changed hands to Moose Landing, that's no longer the case, but that was kind of a nice, sweet deal that we worked out with them.
So what's the alternative if you don't dredge that? That's the public boat launch.
It's gonna be limited, basically limited to pontoon boats. That's, you're gonna limit launching pontoon boats.
Pontoon boats or really small watercraft.
Right.
That launch was supposed to be on the other side of the beach.
Yeah, but that still wouldn't fix it either,
Yeah, I mean,
because it fills the entire cove in.
Okay, but
I
I'm
mean,
still
we're
getting back to,
surrounded by marinas.
I think it's a
People
waste
can't
of
just
money.
put their
I really
boat in
do. I
the
don't think
marinas.
They can put them in there and pay the money.
No, Moose Landing,
Oh, no, you're right, doesn't have a public boat launch.
No.
yeah, and I'm not sure Long Lake does, because they have now been purchased.
Yeah, but take out the word public.
Long
Like,
Lake got
If people wanna
sold?
pay to put their boats in,
Another
can't
date,
they go
another
through the marinas?
No,
Causeway.
Long Lake too? Ha! So we don't have one marina now that's owned by people that were owned 2 years ago. Every single marina has been sold in Naples.
So.
So anyways,
But can't
so,
people pay the marina to put their
no,
boat in?
no, they have a big sign, no public launch. They don't wanna deal with these people.
Drive by Moose
Even if they
Landing,
get paid for it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't wanna deal with it.
your public, Moose Landing has a sign out front, that says no public launching.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
We're just
I
throwing
would
bad money.
never vote to spend $100,000 on
No,
that.
no, we're just throwing money.
It's
at it.
you'd have to do that every 2 years.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
agree.
exactly, you're gonna spend
Yeah.
$1 million over 5 years.
so what, I mean, I think people are gonna be up in arms that they don't have a public boat
I
launch.
agree with you 100%.
So what's
There
the
is one, but
alternative?
There
it's
is
just
one.
not,
Where is it? You said there wasn't one.
No, we have one.
we have one, but it's
Certain
just
boats
limited.
can't be launched
Just don't
there.
put a boat in.
What?
No.
No, you can put pontoon boats, you can put jet skis, you can put small boats. You just can't put a big boat in there because you can't get out far enough.
Right, it doesn't drop off, it's just,
Right, and
And
you'll
all-
find a spot.
and the whole shoreline
You'll
is
find
like
some-
that for a quarter of a mile.
Right,
So just
right.
dredging it with wave
Right.
action, it's just.
It's
don't-
right, if the wave action
out,
fills,
and then it
fills
actually
it right
walks
back in.
uphill.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, you'd have to put
right.
in some sort of a jetty that would
yeah,
block
you would
it.
have to put a
And I've
ramp,
I've already
dug
asked
down,
DEP
it'd
about
have to
that.
be cement.
They said no way.
It would
So
be
that's the only thing to stop it.
very expensive.
Right, the only way to do it long-term is to put a ramp down cement down in, and they'd have to have foundation and everything, so you could
Sides.
control, you could control.
So how do you
How
handle,
can you control the sand coming in the cove?
You put a big jetty
You-
up there,
that-
it
you-
stops it.
That ain't gonna
Well,
work.
no, you'd have a jetty wall on one side.
Yeah.
DEP says,
Oh, I know,
yeah,
I'm
we're
telling you
just
how
saying,
you
yeah,
fix
Yeah,
it.
that's the only way.
That's the only way to
It's
fix
gonna have to go out there, be marked, heck, we could have our own little,
Unfortunately,
lighthouse
it's
on the
just
end of it.
not the right location for it.
No,
Right.
not at all.
But anyways,
Sure, Jim's house?
Randy.
That'd be perfect.
you're right, my house would be perfect.
do you list it as a separate warrant article, or what do you do?
You just let it fill in, I think.
At this point,
No, you just-
I would almost say we take it out.
I think you
Yep.
take it out. That's one way to save some money.
Well, wait until people scream louder, right?
They screamed last year, you know what, they found a place to get their boat in the water.
The closest public boat launch from here, you have Salmon Point,
Yep, Harrison.
or you have Harrison right there by 35.
Right, and you can easily get any boat in there.
Yeah.
No
If they
problem.
wanna show up with shovels, just don't stop them.
So I mean, it's not like we're saying you can't put your boat in the lake.
Right. You got a
You're
big
gonna
boat,
be
you
in,
go to
you got a
Harrison.
big boat, you go to Harrison.
That
Some
does,
ways you limit the boat population.
Right,
That
right.
too, which is kind of a good thing.
Yep.
Alright,
So is that gonna be the recommendation on that one, is cut it?
I
I
definitely.
would.
yeah, I think we're probably all gonna go to that. Take it out.
Okay, well, the good news is, I mean, I haven't heard too many people screaming about it.
No, and last year was the worst.
Yeah, it was bad.
I don't think the lake, I've never seen the lake in 35 years this low. So if the lake comes up anywhere's appreciable, it's gonna be better than what it was last year.
Okay,
as long as it wasn't like, what, 2.5 years ago, Jim?
Right,
Yeah, when the parking lot was underwater.
Yeah.
yeah, you could launch the boat from 302.
got $5,000 in here for the playground, and then, $200,000 for the Route 302 and Route 11 intersections.
Okay, so explain how that works, that 200.
Okay,
That's over $1 million project over there, right?
yeah, but the town.
This is our matching, this is,
It's not matching, it's what the town is responsible above and beyond what the state is going to do anyways.
okay.
Yeah,
And the state's gonna do this when?
it's supposed to start this year, isn't it?
No,
26,
so-
27?
No, so they will, be, this time next year, they're gonna put it out to bid
Yeah.
with start of late April, early May.
So this money is gonna be that 200 has to be paid up front.
Yes, that $200,000 is for an upgrade from
It's 80%.
telephone poles and wires
Yeah.
to the mast poles. Like we
Okay.
got at 35.
Are we gonna have green poles like we do
Green
everywhere else in
poles,
town?
yes, sir, that's why it's $200,000.
Okay.
I think it's 80% upfront.
Okay,
Jim.
up front, all right.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be paid in the 26, 27 calendar year, that's why it's in this budget.
yeah.
Even though the project won't be done till 27, 28.
Well, the sad part is, project will be started and in process about Memorial Day.
Okay, okay, oh,
Perfect
great.
time.
So it'll be done in this budget.
Yeah,
Right.
be done in this budget.
That's what I was asking, to make sure it was,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I've read it's 80% down.
yep, okay.
Upfront, I mean. Okay, so if we sum this one up, and I'm gonna take out the 100 grand, total ask is 372, 232, with all but 534,000 coming out of TIF.
That
What's
brings
that?
it down close to last year's budget.
Now, are you gonna get us what the TIF balance is as well?
Yep.
Then, because you didn't have it the last time we talked.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you a
Rough idea, what,
rough idea.
yep,
Right now, as of today, we're at 911,000 roughly.
and then,
Estimate at the end of this current budget season, probably around 659,000.
that's after we put in what we're putting in, and then taking out what's.
That's whatever's left to pay.
So you've already made the deposit into the TIF fund?
Correct.
Based on the tax commitment?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
What is TIF
so here's
stand
my
for?
next question.
Tax.
Increment and financing.
At one point, the amount of money that we were putting in to the TIF every year was offsetting the expenditures every year.
Correct.
You're saying now the expenditures exceed what we're putting in for the TIF?
They have exceeded what we're putting in since, 24.
Okay,
24 was the year that they had the special town meeting.
Yep.
To do this, I'm assuming that's the $1.2 million that we spent that year.
that's when it switched.
That was the first year.
Okay.
FY '25, we spent about a little less than 200,000 more than what we put in.
Okay.
And then this year, same thing. It's about 300,000, 200 some odd thousand less than what we put in. The current year that we are currently living in, not the budget we're looking at.
But
Prior
just,
to that, we never spent, we always kept
The principal.
the principal.
Okay, but prior to that, you had something wrong in your equations. And so you didn't
No.
know that you weren't spending.
so 23,
No,
20,
the TIF thing was 2 years ago in Jason's thing. That had nothing to do with that error way back in 2016. That 155,000. Go ahead.
so just to be clear, so without the special meeting to do this area, 23, 24, we spent 43,000 more than we raised. 24, 25, we spent 345,000 more than we raised. And the same thing happened for 25 and 26. So both years were basically the same.
So if we do nothing, that TIF fund is gonna be depleted in 2 years.
In a couple of years, yeah, yeah. When we go
That's
over
what
this
I'm
next
talking
section,
about.
we can talk about
TIF
that.
funds can only be used like towards tourism and,
It's
District,
very
right.
specific.
In
It's
the
a
district.
specific location.
It's gotta have a community benefit within the district.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So when we go over the next one, then we'll come back and talk about the total.
Yep.
All right, so the debt service, there's really not a whole lot to talk about here.
What page is that on?
11.
11. Yep.
It's pretty much, it is the same. Well, it's less than last year because we're paying some things down, but it's 279, 383. And that would also come from the TIF. So if you add the TIF projects to the TIF debt, you would need $651,615. Last year, we raised $485. So we can raise as much as, I want to say $850,000, something like that. So the way that works is there's about $80 million worth of TIF property that is not taxed by the school and by the county. And so if you take that 80 million and you multiply it by 1092, I'm doing this from memory, we're in that $800,000 range. So we could raise enough to do that, but when you raise that money, you also raise the mill rate. So I think part of the challenge that we're gonna have this year is going to figure out how can we fund this stuff so it's not such a shock. You know what I mean? We're calling it a soft landing. Can we take some investment accounts or things like that and help step into the new higher mill rate over, a 2 to 3 year period. We haven't been able to finish that yet, but ideally, if we could figure out how to do it, you would want to go after all of the TIF. And what it does is the first 2 years, because the state's behind, you don't see the benefit, but after that you do. And what happens is the state will look at what we've committed for taxes, and it knows what we're saying for TIF, and then when it hands those property values off to the school and the county, it reduces what we've taken for TIF. And so if you think about it, if we do nothing and we don't raise it, the mill rate's here. But if we take it and the school goes down, the county goes down, the mill rate is still here, right? The problem is the first 2 years that we go up, the state's behind us. It takes them a couple of years to catch up, then we see the benefit. On the back end, when all of this goes away, we see 2 years of benefit, right? Even though the TIP program's gone away, because the real estate is 18 months behind for all those calculations. So we're leaving, if this is something we want to commit ourselves to, we've been leaving a lot of money on the table. And as I said,
But we're leaving it.
other than your first couple of years where the state's behind us, the mill rate's the same whether you do it or not. And the balance is low. So that's part of what we need to try to figure out is the math.
So I tested out 750. If we were, instead of 485, I tested out if we raised 750 and it raised the mill rate 10 more cents. So it went from 1092 to 1102. Is the math I got. Just to kind of give you an idea if we were to increase the amount.
Something to think about. Okay, the last section is the general obligation debt.
What page is that on?
70, so
20.
Guys ready? Okay, so the first two, Kent's Landing, that's just old debt that we're paying down. Then the next one is the rec center, so we've broken it up, principal and interest. And then if you, just to give you an idea, so there's a couple of different options here. If we go with option one, which would be to borrow $3 million from the Maine Bond Bank for 10 years at 2.9% interest, the principal would be $261,562 for that first year, and then the interest would be $85,559. But that total number adds up to, I think I've got this right, $471,203. Every other year, what ends up happening is principal goes up, interest goes down, but total payment stays the same. So by the time you get to the last year, there's almost no interest and it's almost all principal. And I modeled it simply. There may be some advantages because I think the Maine Bond Bank takes a balloon payment on the front end. And that should reduce the overall interest charges over time, but I don't have it modeled because I don't have all the facts from them. So I just modeled it like a traditional monthly payment.
So why is the amount 347 and not 500,000? Aren't we,
No, it's the annual payment, it's 347.
oh, okay, because the 500 is coming out of, I meant 3,000,005 versus 3 million.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
We already talked
I
about
got it,
500.
got it, yep.
Another option would be to, just to give you an idea, we could go to 15 years. So it'd be 3 million, that would raise the interest rate to 3.57, also with the Maine Bond Bank. And, I didn't write this down.
So 347,121. What is that, the impact on the tax rate? Just that payment?
On 10 years, it would be, that's 24 cents. If we went to 15 years, it would be 18 cents.
So this is 347,000 a year equates to 24 cents? That doesn't, 14 cents.
No, 24.
It can't be 24. Can't be.
I'll look at that again.
Yeah, 347,000.
Should raise it 2 cents.
It should raise it, if the impact to the taxpayer
I'll look at it.
is only 347,000 a year for that bond, the actual impact to the tax rate is way less.
So for 10 cents, I'll have to validate these numbers, but for 10 cents a mill rate is about $142,000.
Right.
And this is 347.
Oh,
Wow.
I'll have
Sounds
to,
high.
I'll have
That
to
doesn't
look at that.
yeah, something doesn't sound
Right.
right.
I modeled it with a 950 mill rate too, to show the delta over 950.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if I change that, it should go down.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I'll look at that. I'll redo it. I think it's close, but
Okay,
anyways.
yep.
If I had to guess, it's probably gonna be more like maybe 20, 22, and probably 16.
Still seems high.
I know.
Okay, the ambulance, I've got that in here. I went with option one, which was to take the money out of reserve. It's kind of like a worst-case scenario. And then to borrow 180,000 at 5.4% for 5 years, so,
So again, I asked this question. If we're getting 2.97 for the rec center for 10 years, why is it costing us 5.4% for 5 years?
okay, so, good question. If I think we have to borrow a minimum of 200,000 to do the main bond center to get the interest rate.
Yeah.
They will do vehicles though. And so I'm showing it, okay, if we don't want to go after 200 grand, we want to use our reserves, then we have to go with like Andrew Scoggin, which is the 5.4. But option two I have here is, well, let's go ahead and take a $200,000 loan, leave more money in
Right,
the reserve.
absolutely.
I would for a lot less interest.
And you also pay $10,000 less.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
interest, so.
That only makes sense.
Yeah, I modeled it worst case, but that's not what I was gonna recommend. So, it sounds like everybody's on the same
Yeah,
page.
absolutely.
Okay, we'll modify it then with the better numbers. And then the rest of them are the vehicles, so the lease to own is a summary of the numbers.
You're not proposing to lease any more vehicles in this budget, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The long bed is maintenance,
It's my truck,
and the Ford F-350,
Sweets,
and then the Chevy Tahoe.
ACO, and then the Titan is currently like admin, marine safety.
Goes in marine safety in the summer.
Right.
We haven't really used it.
Well, no, because
I thought we would.
as
Don't
a
they
brand
already
new
have two
vehicle, like you
vehicles?
said, huh?
Didn't they already have 2 vehicles?
Who?
Marine?
No. They had 2 vehicles at one time.
Right, one went to the ACO. That got
Right, and
smashed.
the other one we sold because it was, a pile of junk. Lack of better words.
Well, it
So
was
we've
dangerous.
already leased a new,
So let's sell a
2019
dangerous
Titan?
vehicle to somebody.
When the
No
AC
liability there.
When the ACO vehicle got in an accident, they totaled it.
Right, but
So yes,
that was the Chevy Tahoe.
that's the Chevy Tahoe. It was bought through state bid.
And so is the 2019 Titan new to us? Or has this
As of
already been-
June of this past year, yes.
June of '25, right?
Correct.
And why isn't the 4,000 that's sitting for the ACO being transferred over to pay off some of the Chevy?
It could be. And that's when I told you about, we gotta get smart about what we do here. One of the things we've talked about is.
Smart would have
where's the
probably
big-
been getting a used vehicle for the ACO, not a brand new off the lot.
Well,
But I'll be honest with
Depends.
you, and I'm the one that priced them all to get a full-size SUV, and used versus purchasing one through the state bid brand new, you were not talking a lot of money, but where you were talking a lot of money was the used one and the repair bills that we would have on it.
the one that we had before, we had already spent money on repair bills.
Within the first,
But the one we had for years.
huh?
The one before we had for years.
No, we only had that for less than 16 months.
The one that came from Marine?
When does the Kent's Landing purchase bond expire? It must be pretty close.
There's some information in
The
there.
what now?
Kent's Landing purchase bond, that must be coming to maturity pretty quick here.
Well, it looks like here it's 2029.
Yeah, 2029 is
Oh,
last
okay, I didn't see
payment.
that.
That's when you go out to bid for your paving, that's when you do a bond for paving, is when that one goes, you replace it with another bond.
Well, in,
Then you don't have any impact to the tax rate.
correct, and that's why I didn't want to ask for one this year.
Nope, that's when you do it.
Do you guys want to talk about revenue, or do you want to call it quits?
I got 11 minutes.
Do you want to talk about revenue?
I think revenue's gonna take longer than 11 minutes.
Yeah, we
Me
can
too.
start it.
We can start it.
I don't think we'll take that long.
Page 2. And I updated the revenues, that was one of your new packets.
Oh, okay, so that's one of these pages?
Yeah,
So we can take the one in here and throw it out?
yes, sir.
So can we take the 2,500 out of the vehicle maintenance for marine safety? If we have a 2019 leased vehicle? Are these all coming with warranties?
What now? Yes, all those vehicles have a warranty.
So we could probably take out the 25, or lower the 2,500 for vehicle maintenance and safety, right?
It does have boat maintenance, but I do have.
I think
What
boat
section is
maintenance.
the,
Do they have 2 lines? I'm asking Samantha.
I
Section 2.
Section 2.
thought, there's equipment maintenance for annual boat services, yeah, that's different.
So these pages that you had on our desk,
they replace.
they all replace in here,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a new summary.
Yep.
New clerks, new revenue.
So each time we have a meeting, you're probably gonna give us a new set of pages to-
If there's
based on
changes,
cost
yeah.
changes, okay, yep.
Okay. Want me to walk through it, or you walk through it, Pat?
You can walk through it, I'll answer any questions. you may have.
Okay, just quickly checking something. Yeah, it's still not laid out right.
So I'll tell you what I did.
It's
I
confusing,
made a change to that. The reason we reprinted, I'll talk about it so everybody can hear me. We had the Naples Community 5K listed as anticipated revenues,
Yeah.
but it's for a scholarship
Yeah.
fund, and it's kind of a net zero revenue, so it really shouldn't have been counted in there unless we had some expenses that we were utilizing the money for. So I had to make an adjustment. I added the expenses for the 5K in the rec budget and put the anticipated revenue in the revenues. So I kept it in there, but only because I was able to I added the expenses in the rec budget. That was the only change for the revenues.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at the revenue, it looks like it's missing a column. It's 25, 26 isn't in here.
It is 25, 26, that's a typo. If you look,
No, 25, 26 isn't in there because it's a year we're in.
Well, no, but we should have what was approved, so we can
Yeah,
compare it to the new budget.
I might have.
Is that what 24, 25 is?
That's good, that's a good catch. I will have to double check to make sure that it's not just the title that
Okay,
I
yeah.
messed up.
Yeah,
That
we
might
can-
be a typo.
We can fix
Because
it.
usually it would say 25, 26
Yeah.
approved.
No, you're right.
Yeah, not actual. Because if I look at this, our estimated revenues are gonna be $2 million higher than either last year, if that's the right column, or 2 years ago.
Yeah, so if we walk down through this, if you go to section 9 on there, see where it says tax commitment?
Yeah,
Okay, well, that comes off, you don't count that towards your reduction, your revenue to offset taxes. 101, the Betty, that comes off, and you're gonna see that, she takes those out in the final number. And then the homestead exemption, the 195, that has to come out. And then when you go down to admin, let me see, line 730, no,
So,
I think we should
line 700,
I think we should fix it.
wait till next
Fix
week
these
to do
and-
revenues.
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. I just want to explain something real quick about the reason there's such an increase in revenue.
Okay,
The increase in revenue is because of the taxes. So the way I have the calculations set up now, the tax commitment is based on our mill rate, the amount of money we need to raise, so that number is going up significantly because the mill rate is going up
fine,
significantly.
fine.
That's why
Okay,
it's strictly the taxes.
No,
Everything
well,
else
yeah, okay.
is roughly the same.
okay,
And-
good. That gives,
And it's not included anyways when you calculate the mill rate,
Right.
so. All right,
so
done.
you're still gonna try to get the Lake Region bus guy here, right?
Yep.
And then we've got, okay, so we've got our agenda for, thought there was 1 week, Randy, that you weren't here. Isn't there a week that you're not?
Well, the next Wednesday, the 4th, you guys are all out, right?
Oh, that's what it was. Isn't a bunch of you out?
Hoyt's out and Tim's out. Are you out on the 4th?
No, not me.
Maybe you should be.
Well, maybe I should be.
So
Mark, are you
these two
gonna
are
be
out
here?
the 4th?
Yeah, these two are also on the 4th.
We're here.
Yep, I'll be here.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yep, all right, so we'll have a quorum.
Okay, you still want to have it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Who's not gonna be here on the one?
same two that I'm here
Same
tonight.
duty. Or is SAD, is Al still coming in on the 4th?
For SAD 61, I can tell you right now, I've already reached out to them, they don't have anything, neither does the county.
No, I didn't think so.
No,
Yeah, so.
So
those-
we should schedule him
We always
later.
end up doing those toward the end.
that's kind of what,
Al
Yeah.
shows up almost to the end.
Yep. So so then we're just gonna be doing revenues, dispatch, sanitation, general.
Should be another quick one.
County and SED are gonna be moved, right?
Yep. County, I just got an email today, they wanted to know, they're asking all the towns when they need to have numbers. Feedback from them
July.
was that, the final number is gonna have a lot to do with what happens with ICE funding. And they said if they lose that, it's gonna have a significant impact.
That's about $200,000.
You know, I'm telling you,
I don't even wanna.
doesn't matter whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. This whole thing has gotten so out of control. Yeah, exactly. I mean, for God's sakes.
Okay. Boards and committees. Okay.
We're all set?
Yep.
Okay, you guys need to make a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.